This, unfortunately, is one of the routine cataracts I am doing these days. This is a mature intumescent cataract. I have stained the capsule, put in my incisions, and I am doing the rexus. You can see it is a pretty intumescent cataract. It is going to be difficult to do the rexus just with the cystitome alone. So I put in some HPMC and I am very gingerly and see how that has gone. Be extremely careful. So I plan to do I have to do a double rexus in this case. So once I've got the 2 mm rexus, I go in with my Simcoe, start aspirating all the peripheral cortex, peripheral equatorial cortex. In fact, whatever cortex comes, I keep rotating the nucleus and taking out all the loose cortex. And just keep taking out all this. And once that's done, put in some HPMC, make a nick with my micro scissors, and with my Utrata I am going to enlarge this rexus. It's easy to do it now, obviously. You have depressurized the intracapsular compartment. It's not going to be very difficult. In fact, so done it, not too happy with the overall size. It's more of it is inferior, I think. So make another nick superiorly, and this time take my micro rexus forceps and enlarge it slightly superiorly also. Yeah, and then I go ahead with my phaco. This is a very soft cataract, so I don't need a sharper. I'm just going in with my dialer, and sometimes these cataracts can be extremely difficult to do because they just get eaten away. It's very difficult to hold on to them. So you can see how carefully I'm going. Yeah, but it's got enough mass, so it should not be a problem. Don't pull it out because your rexus is not that big. So rather make some segments and then get it out of the bag. So these bags also can surprise you. The zonules are not too great, so I'm just going very, very carefully. So, the density of the cataract is no great shakes, so but I am being a bit careful anyway. So one heminucleus out, time to handle the other one. That's easily done. Now watch and see what happens. So yeah, there is a lot of cortical matter and this has to be taken out. So I go in with my bimanual, and you have to always be very careful in these cases. I have learned from experience and also talking with other surgeons, especially like Dr. Neto. These bags can surprise you. So whenever I get a sheet of cortex like this, I will see what it is before I pull on it. And look here. See, this is not good. This is actually you're pulling on the bag. It looks like cortex. I have checked it again, and you can see that gap there. That is the bag. So just leave that area, and mind you, the same thing can exist in other areas as well. So be very careful when you're aspirating. And at that area, I'm just doing a little bit of a polish, not trying to pull out the excess. And I know this is, I don't know how much zonulodialysis is there, so I'm anyway opting to put in a CTR. And always support your CTR. Be very careful, because your CTR itself can damage a lot of the zonules. So I do this technique. Many people use the forceps. I use this double dialer technique. I just engage the eyelet with one of the things, go right down into the bag, and with the other release it into the bag. So once that's done, I put in HPMC, and these lenses, I have abandoned my single piece. This was supposed to be for a single piece, abandoned it. I am going to put a multi-piece, and I am going to put it in the sulcus and try and capture the optic into the rexus. So these lenses are extremely difficult to control. So it is better, I learned the hard way, it's better to put it over the iris rather than into the sulcus directly. And just putting in some viscoelastic to get some space. And once you have done this, once you can very carefully manipulate the other one over the iris and then position it. I'm positioning it away, just putting it into the sulcus. I should have put the haptic in another area, didn't think. However, now it's in the sulcus. I can try and manipulate it away. And then once it's in the sulcus, I put in some viscoelastic, and this is how I capture the optic into the rexus. First the superior, then the inferior. Make sure the whole thing is captured. And you can see that cat's eye rexus, showing that the rexus is over the optic. And that's a magnified view. So that's just showing you that it is very well captured. I then proceed to remove the HPMC from the chamber. I will not go behind the lens in this case, just tap on the lens and bring out the HPMC, and put in my intracameral antibiotic, put in, hydrate the wounds, and conclude my surgery. Here I am just very, very carefully aspirating, at the same time pushing down on the lens so that it does not come out of the bag. That is, the capture is not released. And that's just a still shot of the same. Thank you so much for watching.